Good afternoon and welcome then to LUTV's coverage of this momentous day for Leeds United women as they take on Stourbridge FC women in the final of the FAWNL Plate. The game will take place at the Armcrow Arena in Solihull, and it's a big day for Leeds as they take part in their first final since 2013. They're looking to try and win their first trophy of a major competition since 2010. So a big occasion. Plenty of fans have made the trip today to try and support Leeds United women on their what is hopefully a momentous afternoon. Myself, Tom Hill and Jodie Hunter will bring you all the action. Before I bring Jodie in alongside me, who is excited for the occasion, I'm sure, like all of our fans, we can get through the teams first here at Solihull. So Leeds United go with Carrie Simpson in goal. It is then Rachel Hindle, Catherine Hamill, Bridie Hannon, Olivia Smart, Paige Williams, Danielle Witham, Macy Ellis, Abby Brown, Catherine Smith and Amy Woodruff. And then it's Savannah Robson, Sarah Danby, Kanisha May Underdown and Izzy Elliott. As for Stourbridge, it is Preston, Levick, Hazelgrave, Hadley, Clark, Moran, Lawrence, Fishwick, Nicklin, Rogers and Deasy. And the Fisher's bench is Morley, Glover, Bate, McGovern and Murphy. So the players certainly taking in all of the occasion. And Jodie, first of all, good afternoon. Thank you again for joining us. As a member of Leeds United Women for the last few years, you are still part of this squad, of course. And what is it like as an occasion today? We know, we've heard from several of the players this week on LUTV, spoken to several of them. What is the feeling within the group?
It's just a buzz, obviously. It's such an exciting experience to be a part of, and obviously getting to a final on any occasion is absolutely brilliant for the club. And obviously it's just showing you where we want to go and where we want to be. We want to be in everything. So it's obviously a brilliant occasion to be a part of today.
Yeah, the respective sets of players have yet to go through their team handshakes because officials are taking their part first. It is a big day today. It is the Women's Football Weekend 2023. That is where fans are encouraged to attend a domestic match. There's already been a game on the pitch today in which Newcastle United Development played Portsmouth FC Development in the Reserves Plate final, in which Newcastle came out at 3-0 on top. But we look at the pitch, it looks in really good condition. It should be an occasion, Jodie, where as a group, Rick Passmore's side are able to get the ball down and play the football they all desire to do so. Yeah,
it's a brilliant pitch, obviously. The football we play is obviously, like you say, get the ball down, play it, get the opposition moving around and find them gaps that we like to see. But obviously, you don't want to take too much from the players' focus on the game today. You obviously, you've got a lot going on, you've got a lot of fans going on, in the ground, so you just want to kind of focus once that whistle blows and focus on the game.
Yeah, so a lengthy delay in terms of getting through the official razzmatazz, but this is all part of it, Jodie. This is essentially what the players are there for. It's about trying to get the experience. We see it every week in Tadcaster. Players go through their pre-match photo. This is one of those sort of situations. We're in a final for the first time since 2013. You have to savour it.
Yeah, obviously it can be overwhelming at times. Obviously, like you said, you've got your pre-match, you know exactly what's happening on a weekly basis, and then something like this might throw you off. Obviously, like we say, we've got a lot of fans here today. It's kind of a big weekend, and obviously we just want to kind of get through the game and put our best foot forward.
Yes, certainly the message, I'm sure, from Rick Passmore, who has watched his side beat higher opposition within the rankings. The squad, or at least the first team that are out there today, are going through their pre-match photo. Subs stood behind in the new Leeds United strip as the fans try to make themselves heard. Several coaches have gone down today to the Midlands to try and cheer on the group as the respective subs come on for the photo, and those that are not part of the team today, that of course will have to be part of the squad going down the line. We have the likes of Jess Russo, who can't play. We have Rebecca Bass, who's still had her knee strapped up, the captain this afternoon, who was part of the last team that Leeds United played in a cup final. So we've got like a cycle really of the old group that played in a game, the new group, the team that have progressed this year. I think it's very important, Jodie, that Bass is out there. It's the sign of like the cycle going through it, and I'm sure she'll have given plenty of experience to the players this afternoon in those team talks.
Yeah, obviously everybody that's there today on the pitch or at the side of the pitch. Obviously they all deserve to be there, they're part of the squad, they all play a huge part in it, and I think obviously people like Rebecca Bass is obviously a captain for a reason, and obviously she's a part coach, part player today, just cheering on the girls and obviously wanting the best for them.
Yeah, certainly the case, as Olivia Smart is the, I don't want to say standing captain, does her a disservice because she is officially the captain every week when Rebecca Bass has been out injured. It's not just a one-off for the cup final, and she has led the group as best she can. She is, of course, extremely motivated herself, and she is another one of this group that's been part of it for several years. So Stourbridge, to give you a bit of information about them, they play at the same level as Leeds in terms of league hierarchy, but just the Midlands region of it. And it's fair to say, Jodie, from doing my research, that they've found themselves in a very attractive position. They're top of their league. Their goal difference is plus 62. They won their last game 16-1, and it is the same team, Long Eaton United, that they beat 10-1 earlier in the season. They've only lost once this year, which is their first game. So it's hard to judge, I guess, because naturally you would look at their league and think, we'll be at the same level. Then you think, right, this is a team that are going to mean real business. I think we're going to find out inside maybe 5-10 minutes if Leeds United's region is more competitive than Stourbridge's.
Yeah, I think it's obviously hard to kind of compare them, I suppose, until you're in them. You're obviously playing them same teams week in, week out. So it'll be a real good test today to see. And obviously for Stourbridge, they've obviously scored quite a lot of goals, so you might want to see if they're actually being challenged much, and if Leeds can obviously give them that challenge today on such an occasion. Obviously if they're so comfortable at winning with a high scoring goals, then obviously we'll see what they're like if they are under pressure, and see what Leeds can do to upset them.
And Leeds will defend the kickoff first as Kath Hamill flies out of defence to retrieve it. So the game underway in Solihull at the Amco Arena, and the pitch in good condition, of course. Last few days certainly in Yorkshire have been rather heavy on the rainfall, but taking it really well as Kath Hamill gets another important touch. So Paige Williams will take charge. It's a very big pitch as well, and Leeds will try and use it to their advantage. Williams tries to go down the line. Macy Ellis had gone to the left. That's my first pre-match tactical note ruined. Macy Ellis has played right wing for the majority of the year. She's starting on the left today, which I don't think should be too much of an issue. We have seen her play the left. It's not a position that's alien to her. And of course, a front three that has been pretty deadly in the competition because they have scored plenty of goals. Amy Woodruff is one of those as she wins a free kick just on the edge of the area. And a perfect first minute, Jodie. Good few touches for the defence. We now have a shooting opportunity.
Yeah, obviously it's a brilliant start in the first few minutes of the game. Obviously Amy Woodruff's so strong in the challenge, so she's really good on the ball, and she's done very well there to keep hold of the ball and get a free kick in a very dangerous area.
Yeah, dangerous indeed, as Olivia Smart has put this ball down to take it. Brown has moved out of her way, so Smart, the Leeds left back, the captain, has taken control. And what a start this would be for Leeds United women inside the first 2 minutes in Solihull. Smart takes a deep breath, goes for goal towards the corner, keeper gets across. It's a confident save for the Stourbridge stopper, but it's equally just as important for Olivia Smart, who tries to nip in. So Preston stops Smart from getting to it, and now Stourbridge, the local team, will try and come forward on a quick fire counter. The pace is pretty quick out there as Smart sends it straight back down the line to Woodruff. So there's a lack of control on both parts. It's making certainly for a lot more exciting viewing for the neutral. And I'm about to say somebody for Leeds is to get their foot on the ball. Paige Williams is there to do just that.
Yeah, obviously I think we just need to get the ball down, like I say, get a few other players on the ball that haven't had a chance to get the foot on it, and just obviously settle things.
Yeah, looking at the replay of the effort, she can't really do much more of this match. She could be a little bit higher, but it was on target. She got plenty of loft on the ball and got it to dip in time. There's a first sighter inside the first couple of minutes. It really is a strong effort for the Leeds left back as Stourbridge make their way downfield and up towards the number 9, which is Niamh Deasby. She is the leading striker in her division with 22 goals this season. The one to watch, Smart concedes a throw. So Rick Passmore out there giving his advice to his players, trying to direct them around the park. Stourbridge going straight down the line, well headed away by Olivia Smart. Taking this throw in will be Meg Hadley, the Stourbridge right back. Really a heavy touch which allowed Leeds to nip in. Macy Ellis was certainly tempted by the idea. Stourbridge coming forward right through the heart of the Leeds midfield, only for a split second though, because Smith is on hand to get back. Nice turn at the back from Levick to get away from Woodruff. Wide to the left-hand side for Zoe Clark. Good challenge from Abby Brown, who is normally having to do the impressive work as a forward. Brown not happy with the contact and the argument off the ball. You can clearly see the players are fired up for this. Referees just try to calm Abby Brown down. And it is a big occasion, because we know Brown plays with determination, but it's not often does she show it verbally to other players. She's then just nips in with another challenge, so she is certainly bang up for the occasion. Those two players are still having a natter as the game continues, and it's up towards Alex Nickin, who loses possession, and the little bit of pressure that Leeds were under has now dissolved. Nearly 5 minutes gone. How do you feel, Jodie? Rick Passmore will be pleased, will he be frustrated? What is your viewpoint on the first 5 minutes? I
think, like you say, the energy is obviously there. You obviously want them to be up for every challenge, every tackle, and obviously these first few minutes of the game is where you kind of win it, and obviously it can change the game completely. So I think he'd be very positive. He's always got something to say, and obviously he always wants his players to improve, so he's obviously going to be very vocal, but I think I'd be quite happy if I was him.
Yeah, fingers crossed so far as Smart goes down the touchline with a throw. She'll win another straight after. So Leeds so far to get here today, beaten Solihull Moors, who are a couple of places below Stourbridge in their league. That was the first game in the competition. And then beaten West Brom in a higher league, Fylde and Southampton to reach today's final. And Stourbridge beaten Leafgate Athletic, Peterborough United, Hull City and Crawley Wasps to book their spot in today's showpiece. Smart to Witham, who needed a little bit of help, gives the ball away. She was caught late and the referee spotted that, and Stourbridge manager turns around in frustration, looks at the crowd to try and maybe calm it down, because I think he knows that was a real counter-attacking opportunity. Jodie, your thoughts on the challenge? Is it a foul? There was a bit of contact. I can understand their frustrations.
Yeah, I think we're quite lucky to get away with that one there. I think there wasn't too much to complain about if I were Leeds, obviously. And I think Stourbridge are very upset with that one. Yeah,
unfortunate for them, but of course with our biased views we will take it as Smart flicks the ball in. Woodruff turns it towards goal. Ellis was racing forward, and the goalkeeper Emma Preston, that has made one good save so far, is on hand to deny Leeds for a second occasion. Woodruff through the middle this season. She does have plenty of goals in her locker, 11 for the season in all comps, the same total as Brown, who's on the right wing this afternoon, as Hannon goes back to Simpson. And she will clear for touch and just concede a throw. Stourbridge captain Lawrence making her way towards a throw-in. The touch nearly gave Ellis a chance to get to it. Smith turns it away from the box, but for how long? Thanks to Williams' tackle. That danger thwarted immediately as Hindle picks up possession. She was trying to go down the right-hand side of defence, eventually cleared away. We have seen Savannah Robson play the last couple of games in the league out there, but Hindle has been the main replacement for Rebecca Bass, who hurt her knee earlier in the year. And a very expansive pitch out there. You can see that with Simpson's ball out wide to Smart. The same for Hannon. Leeds are trying to use the space they've been given this afternoon. Hannon's pass intercepted. Passmore asking his team to get back. Hindle races across with a ball-winning challenge, and the two sets of players fighting for it. Referee gives a free kick, and I think he might have evened things out there, because that foul that he gave on Witham looked a little generous. I think that looked a little generous at first viewing.
Yeah, I think we can say it's consistent. Not too sure what he gave there. Maybe just a delay on getting up, but I don't think there's much other than
Yeah, I
that.
mean, I can understand it if you thought she was trying to obstruct the ball, but she fell on top of it and was trying to get to her feet. So we hope that Stourbridge can't punish Leeds on this occasion, as Catherine Smith makes her way across to be part of the wall, which currently consists of Paige Williams, Macy Ellis, Abby Brown and Catherine Smith in that order from right to left. Leeds are asking for this block shot coming in, and that is tame as you like, and that's well dealt with. Leeds noticed that was going to be a short layoff, and no panic 9 minutes in, Jodie.
Yeah, I think it was fairly obvious, obviously, the body language of Stourbridge captain. I think Carrie Simpson was well placed on the line to collect that.
Yeah, Hindle to Williams. It's well worked by Williams. Tried to show that she was going down the line, although I think she wanted a little more movement further forward. Simpson wide to Smart, who will flick the header on. Looking for Woodruff, who can't get to it. Stourbridge will clear, but can only keep the ball in play. No, they can't. It's out for a throw. Ellis trying to get down the line. Both teams appealing for the decision, and again Stourbridge feel that should be theirs. That ball is going in Leeds' favour. Olivia Smart continues to make her way down the wing towards Woodruff, who will turn inside, option to shoot. She takes it, deflected, and that is behind for a corner, and the Stourbridge player is down. That is Sophie Heaselgrave that has felt the effects of that straight into the side of the ribcage, and that is going to be a Leeds corner. But that is Amy Woodruff in a nutshell. Strong, powerful, determined, and yes, she turned inside, but she won a corner out of a situation that didn't look to be too inviting. Stourbridge player is still down, and we are going to get a delay to the game.
Yeah, obviously we know exactly what she's like, Amy Woodruff. She obviously, in the first few minutes, she won a free kick in that same spot from where she took the shot, so you know, she's very dangerous in and around the box.
Yeah, I actually think the Stourbridge player has rolled the ankle, in fact, rather than being winded by the delivery. So Olivia Smart is just trying to focus on what's to come in the penalty area, what she can pick out. They've got plenty of height in there with the likes of Hannon and Hamill. Olivia Smart still fully focused on the penalty area. Now the referee is going to let play continue. So it is Paige Williams in the 15 jersey, just hovering around the edge of the box should she be needed, and it is towards the edge of the area as Brown goes for goal. Keeper saves, and a well-worked set piece for Leeds, and that is the second time they've forced a save, but it remains 0-0.
Yeah, it's good to see something different. Obviously the first corner in the game, Stourbridge not knowing what to expect, and obviously it's a good movement there from Abby Brown.
Yeah, Smart this time will go towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Two players going for it. One of them is Smith, and it's just gone past the post. We will not know if Catherine Smith was a little bit unsighted by Abby Brown's left boot coming towards her. It did look like Smith was in the right sort of position, Jodie, to hit that. It's coming at her. I think she's the favourite. It's just unfortunate she can't turn it goalwards.
Yeah, I think it's a great connection. She just seems to put a little bit spin on it to just get wide of the post, unfortunately.
Williams wins the header, a brave header as well. Gets up to battle with the midfielders of Stourbridge. Kath Hamill being backed into, but comes away with it. It's now into Lawrence, who goes with the up and under. That should be Carrie Simpson's, and it will be. And she will immediately look to try and go wide towards Smart, and that is an option that Leeds often go with, wide to the full-backs. Such as the size of today's pitch, it has been the preferred route so far. Tyndall was looking to go into Witham, who couldn't pick it up. There is space in the middle for Amber Lawrence, and she takes it, goes forward. Simpson's coming off her line. It's a commanding clearance out wide, and on hand is Macy Ellis. She will have Smart on the underlapping run to help out, then to Woodruff, and Leeds have worked it well here. They've got numbers forward. Now Smart looking across to Brown, who's gone towards the goal. It's cleared up in the air. Preston's coming for it, and that is going to be picked up by the goalkeeper, who is nudged out of play. Have you ever seen Abby Brown as determined as this?
No, I haven't actually. It's really exciting to see what's going to come for her today, and hopefully she can carry it on.
It was Levick that hooked it the wrong way. Of course, not a back pass due to a genuine intention to clear. Hindle gets to it first. Williams nips in. She's had a important role in the middle of the park. She flies in again for another challenge as Leeds defensively are switched on, and Simpson just lets it come into a penalty area before taking control. It is Rogers in the number 10 jersey for Stourbridge that's up there in attack. And we know this 4-3-3 formation allows the full-backs to charge forward. Olivia Smart was one of the furthest players forward for Leeds then. And inside 14 minutes, Leeds have had at least a strong effort here. They've put plenty of challenges in. We've had a couple of shots towards goal. We've had 2 saves from Preston. So Leeds have certainly started the better of the two sides. Hannon clears, but there is bodies there for Stourbridge. Kath Hamill is on hand to at least stop it for now. The forward is Deesby in possession. They go backwards, Stourbridge keeping hold of the ball. Ellis is beaten. Smart will fly forward and with a no-nonsense clearance relieves the pressure. But it's a good battle, this. It's certainly interesting viewing inside the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's exactly what you want from a final. Obviously, you don't want it to be an easy one. Like Stourbridge has obviously come across opponents this season with the scoreline, so it's very good to watch. And hopefully we can have Leeds on the score sheet.
Yeah, Deesby tried to go inside and pick out the number 6, which was Nicklin. She got her bearings wrong though. Her forward had not joined her in the attack as Smart collects possession. In the middle is Williams. She is asking for it and she retrieves it with time and space. Looking for Brown. Hindle's got there first, but Leeds just a little bit caught out. Hindle will now try and get back goal side, which she does. Support from Brown. Williams there as well, and Leeds working well in numbers. Williams again just flicks it inside to Witham. Now to Smith. The midfield 3 all on hand to help each other out, and Leeds are making plenty of strides forward, taking a few risks in possession as Smart goes down the line to Woodruff, who will again hold it up well towards Smart. She was looking to pick out Ellis. She is quick, Ellis, so she will get to this, and she holds up the play. Now has she won a corner? Yes, she has, and that's top work for Macy Ellis, Jodie.
Yeah, we've said it plenty of time before that she just chases loose balls, and you think that there's nothing to go for, and she's obviously winning a corner there, and she has no writing. Smart
to take. Leeds' subs right by her in their orange bibs to give words of encouragement. Smart delivers a looping ball. Hamill nearly gets to it, just grazes the forehead as Deesby can clear this for Stourbridge. And clears it well, but Hindle was on hand just to mop up. Bridie Hannon stays back. Another member of this group that has been here for several years. There's so many out there that would absolutely savour the occasion, and just in the build-up, Jodie, as we see a replay of that corner and how close Leeds came to try and head it home. Leeds players speaking of their desire to win the trophy, not only for themselves but for the supporters, who have certainly made the effort today to go out there and try and cheer the group. And I thought it was a nice comment from Catherine Smith in the build-up about how good the atmosphere has been in training this week, and Leeds certainly have started with a confident stride in their game, as they've got to show that same desire here as Kath Hamill mops up and clears. But they have started today with a bit of a chip on their shoulder, but not a lack of respect for the opposition, but certainly one where they deserve to be here and they can get the job done today.
Yeah, I feel like there's a sense of belief in the team, in the players. Obviously looking beside you, that's what you want. You want confidence in your teammates, and you can obviously see that they play for each other, and hopefully it can come off for them today.
Yeah, Leeds will mop up defensively and keep things ticking over. There was no need to panic at the back there, and it was rather nonchalant really from Bridie Hannon to just sidestep it across, pick up possession, and Woodruff turns her marker. Hazelgrave got too tight. Macy Ellis takes over, and Macy Ellis's pace is bursting down the left wing, hoping for a Leeds throw. In fact, call goes against her, and I think we're getting a tipping of the scales either side. The officials feel that was Stourbridge's ball. Leeds will feel otherwise, and that's maybe the fourth call today that's been debatable. The officials, with it being a final, I'm sure will be under the spotlight as Williams flies in. That's a tremendous challenge from Paige Williams. She gets Leeds on the attack. It's towards Ellis, who can't turn it goalwards towards Woodruff. We're in the middle of midfield. Paige Williams is really starting to impress the last couple of weeks. She collects possession again. She's going to have to be quick here, and she flies in. Just what Leeds United fans would savour a ball-winning challenge from a centre midfielder. Hindle down the wing to Brown, who rides the challenge, can only cough up possession. Stourbridge will clear. Hindle to Brown again. Brown did have Witham further forward. Leeds have 4 in the attack. Brown just scuffs the pass, gets it wrong, and Leeds a little bit stretched in midfield as Smith comes flying across. Smart gets to it. On the front foot towards Woodruff. Brown was a little bit loose in attack, and we know that Leeds play on a pitch at Tadcaster that is certainly testing. Leeds have made it a real fortress this season, as Leeds are just caught out at the back. But I think you can just maybe see signs of both teams adjusting to the size of the pitch with their passes that are either overhit, underhit. Players are out of position a little bit, and it's going to be very energy sapping today, and I think the benches are going to play such a vital role as well.
Yeah, I think obviously first 20 minutes of the game you can see that they're just settling in and just obviously adjusting, like you say. I know at Tadcaster it's obviously a very heavy pitch throughout the season for us, so we just need to adjust to a very good pitch.
Just get a chance here to break off because Stourbridge come forward. That shot was blocked on the edge of the area out towards the penalty box, and Lawrence was going for it, only for Hindle to get there first. It's now into Rogers, who clears. Leeds with Ellis trying to just get it away by hook or by crook, but Stourbridge, first time in a while they've penned Leeds in. That is now stopped immediately by a misplaced pass. So if you're just joining us here on LUTV, it is the FA WNL Plate final, Leeds' first major cup final since 2013. They're looking to win their first trophy on the national levels for the first time since 2010. And while the scoreline is level, they have made a positive start inside the first half at Solihull. The Amco Arena, Stourbridge, a little bit more local. Worked out earlier, around a 40-odd minute trip for them today. Smart and Smith jumping up for win possession. Leeds just a little bit short of numbers, but they race back as Williams and the rest of the midfield wasn't goal side at first, but as quick as that they get back, cover themselves and just try and take their time. And very important, a few touches at the back that they've had for Hamill, Smith, Hannon. It's allowed them to settle their nerves, I'm sure. Hindle to Woodruff, who again will use her strength and ability to hold up the play. That pass a little bit wayward, and very wayward in fact in the end. It looked to be so routine at first. And Smith gets in the way to recover. And now Olivia Smart can take control. Woodruff again tries the layoff to Smart, gets that one under hit. So she's another player that's trying to adjust her passing range. First one over hit, second under hit. But you can see what Leeds are using her for. We have got two very different number 9s this year. We have Jess Russo, who the last couple of weeks has made a real difference with her goals. Can't play in the game today as there is a stoppage for the referee to just allow a player to come to a halt. Leeds do have a player down, and it is Olivia Smart that is on the deck receiving treatments. But Woodruff is a very different striker to Russo. You've got one that holds the play up and is equally as deadly in the area. You've got one that's more of a runner in behind. But Leeds haven't been afraid today to go into Woodruff's feet and try and play off her. And last couple of times, yes, it hasn't worked, but I think it'll be a route they go down for the 90 minutes and beyond.
I think it's really good. Obviously, you've got the two white wingers. You've got in Macy Ellis and Abby Brown, and then you've got obviously Amy Woodruff in the middle. They just work so well together as a top three. Interchangeable, obviously, with the players on the bench who do so well. Got very versatile players on the team. But like you say, she just holds the ball up really well, very strong. She looks for players in and around her and obviously into the space. So it's real credit to the team.
Game back underway as Hamill, Simpson get a few early touches. Hindle quite simply waving her teammates down the pitch, trying to encourage them forward. Smart is now okay as Witham tried to play the 1-2. Witham gets the pass all wrong and fires it away. Stourbridge will certainly feel after a 5-minute strong start for Leeds. They're coming into the game. I did say earlier, this is two teams at the same level. Stourbridge are top of their league, scoring goals for fun. We are getting quite a level battle so far. For how long, we are not sure. Smart was just trying to watch that ball out of play. Stourbridge eventually turned it that way anyway. And Nicklin was the one that was out there as well, and number 17 was Fishwick kicking it out of play. Smart takes it. Hindle's asking for it on the far side. The two fullbacks could have combined, something Smart didn't see. Witham runs into trouble, tries to turn away. She's bailed out by Catherine Smith, who all four players in that middle are all as happy to run and fly into challenges at each other as Hindle is charging forward. She was unable to win a throw, but she wins it back high up the pitch there. Rachel Hindle lays it off. Paige Williams will have to be quick here. She is. Runs into trouble and gives the ball away. And that midfield battle continues this afternoon. As forward it goes, Bradley Hannon there. Tremendous defending as Deesby's just moved aside the top scorer for Stourbridge. As Witham gets across out to Hindle. So that ball, I think, had just gone out of play. These had just taken a risk too far, but I think we're seeing a few of the players maybe starting to see the level we're playing at this afternoon. We've seen Daniel Witham, a machine from midfield all season. The last few times she's tried to charge forward, she's been caught out. And I think maybe Rick Passmore's side are working things out on the fly, where they've been given whatever footage they could have got hold of. They've seen the goal scoring record. But is there anything, Jodie, you would maybe look at to improve matters, how to turn this game into Leeds' favour?
I think we're just doing really well. I think we're just obviously building, we're trying to get the ball on the ground, play it. Obviously you can see we're trying to switch play. I think sometimes maybe just too much sometimes. Obviously just be patient like we are doing, obviously going back to Carrie Simpson, just starting again.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest difference I've seen since the last few league games, such as the pitch size and the occasion. They are really happy to go back and just reset. It's giving everyone that breather they need. Ellis nudges off the full back, just gives her a push out of the way. It's helped Leeds get on the attack. Unfortunately, Smart is caught out. Leeds will have to try and cover in midfield, which Witham did stand in the way, and Stourbridge fall into Leeds' trap and give the ball away. Rebecca Bass is fit and able enough to retrieve the ball. Do we think today's official role is assistant manager? Come captain, I haven't seen her sit down yet.
I think she could definitely hold that title.
I don't think Rick Passmore's given her it, but we'll try and find out at full time, as Amy Woodruff can't get to the ball. Bass has now finally sat down. And after that instruction to her teammate to try and calm things down, Leeds will try and do that here with Williams, who keeps the play alive towards Smith, who tried to go long with the pass, got it all wrong. She will now try and make amends as Lawrence goes over the top. Hannon's getting back across. Carrie Simpson seemed to have it covered, and while it worked, I don't think those two were on the same page, as it's up towards Woodruff. Great first touch. Witham tries to go towards Ellis, wide, and that will trickle out of play. Just a little bit disjointed, Jodie, from midfield to attack in the last 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem to be sticking. I think obviously that will come in the next few minutes, but I just think maybe we're just on different pages at the moment, and you know, maybe we've got a lot of, it seems like the players that have got the ball have got quite a bit of space, and it's just kind of second guessing what to do with it, whether it's carry on or obviously to get players involved up top. And it just doesn't seem to be coming off at the moment.
The Leeds will win a throw-in deep inside Solihull's half, as Amber Lawrence, the Stourbridge captain, just stretching off perhaps a leg injury. Referee was just checking she was okay, as Witham collects from Smart. Cross diverted via a deflection. As Leeds get a throw, you can see and hear Stourbridge's fans' reaction to that decision. One of dismay. Smart has to be quick. Now the throw will go their way. Lots of passion on show from both sets of supporters, both sets of coaches. Smart clears the danger, and I think Rick Passmore tried to go through a few stumbling blocks as a cup final. You want to see your players handle the occasion inside half an hour or nearly there. From what we've seen, Jodie, certainly from my perspective, do you think that they've taken it in their stride? They don't seem to be nervous. They just, yes, in the front three hasn't clicked just yet, but there doesn't seem to be much nerves out there from Leeds' group.
It seems like obviously they're relishing in the occasion, and I think just a few tweaks here and there, maybe even if that does come at half time, I think it will click eventually, as we've seen so this season.
Yeah, Simpson collects what was a hopeful ball forward. She is the intended target for those sort of deliveries, to come off her line nice and early. She likes to do that. As Smith picks up possession, she will make her way forward. She goes long to Ellis, and that's just a little bit overhit from Catherine Smith. Ellis coming in from quite a narrow angle the last couple of occasions. As Preston, the Stourbridge goalkeeper, rolls it out towards Levick. Up towards Deesby, her touch is loose and allows Smith to nip in, who just gets her balance, now tries to float it over the top to Woodruff. It is into Woodruff's path, now Woodruff going for goal, turns inside, Woodruff goes for the car corner, there is Ellis on the rebound and taps it in. Leeds United lead, and the support play timed to perfection. 1-0 to Leeds United women in the cup final. Amy Woodruff's strength and determination, and while she was denied by yet another impressive save, Macy Ellis on hand. Leeds United 1, Stourbridge 0.
Amy Woodruff does absolutely brilliant. Obviously we see the replay here, ball from Catherine Smith through. She holds the ball up really well, it's quite difficult, it bounces. She carries it so well, very composed. And then obviously Macy Ellis there just for the rebound off the keeper.
Ellis thumped that ball home. And referee just taking Stourbridge a few steps back. Clearly they're fired up here to get back on level terms. As Kath Hamill heads the ball away. So Rick Passmore's side score with half an hour gone in this FAWNL plate final at the home of Solihull Moors, the Armco Arena. And that will hopefully give them such a confidence boost for the rest of this first half. Can they go on and get a second? And I think the best thing, it's come at a stage of the game where Leeds weren't really getting anywhere. Defensively very solid, midfield very competitive, but once they went past the halfway line on the centre circle, it was just a little bit off radar. And then all of a sudden a real moment of quality and great support play. They'll hope Stourbridge don't create something from nothing here. As Hindle flies in, there's a gap at the back though. Leeds have got to get across, the shot comes in, it's sliced. Carrie Simpson looked to have her near post covered. Zoe Clark with the effort for Stourbridge. And thankfully for Leeds, the first response from Stourbridge is wayward.
Yeah, I think Rachel Hindle does really well there not to dive in. Obviously she just keeps her body in the way and enables her to turn. And then obviously that gives Kath Hamill a little bit of time to get across to the left wing.
Hannon gets her wriggle on to get to the ball and takes it in her stride. The Leeds centre back to Smith. Hannon will now go with more power out wide to Ellis. Ellis's touch invites the pressure from a Stourbridge player, but she has too much power and strength. As Smith went down the line, that pass is given away. Stourbridge will try and come forward on the attack. Hannon again mops up, and Leeds have done so well in areas today when their teammates have made a mistake to help each other out, work in numbers. As Ellis was nearly on that ball, she is going to try and chase it down. Keeper races forward. Preston off her line, but Leeds can't get to the ball as Stourbridge clear. I think that's been one of the most impressive things today. There hasn't been any drop of the heads when passes have gone astray. It's just been, right, let's work back for it. You know, the players are working so hard out there to help each other out. Smart gets to the ball pass deflected away. She is now racing back to try and stop the striker, the key player, as that Hannon flies in with a challenge, and there was no backing out from either player, and applause from the members of the Leeds bench, applause from the crowd as well, and it really does have that feeling of a cup final this today. Both players flying into each other, and the best thing was neither of them moaned a bit. Straight up, not even a handshake, not even a sign of respect from each other. Let's just move on, as Leeds have to get back, as Hindle needs a bit of help here. There's two players coming forward. The shot will come in. Carrie Simpson is unsighted, or doesn't expect the shot, and Stourbridge punish her. It looked at first to be a lofty effort, but what a shot that was in terms of dip and precision, and Hannah Fishwick has put Stourbridge level. And for the first time, really, Leeds just didn't have that second player on the inside to help out. And when it left her boot, did Carrie Simpson feel that was just going to go straight over the crossbar? Or is it that good of an effort? She just hasn't got any ability to bring it under control. Looking at the replay, she's not that far off her line.
I think Fishwick just had quite a bit of space, obviously, and time just to take that shot and obviously pick it out, and she obviously did that.
So we are level at the Armco Arena, the final of the FAWNL Plate. Leeds' first major final since 2013. They were looking to lead at half-time as they look for their first major win since 2010. And I think we all knew pretty much before kick-off, with the scoring record, with the level, the league standings, Stourbridge at the top of their league, this wouldn't be an easy day. We have further evidence to back it up.
It's obviously been a great game so far. Like you say, both teams have obviously scored where there's not been too much danger, and it's just come from nothing, really.
Yeah, we'll break off because Smart has managed to get forward for Leeds. She floats it in, it'll go towards Brown. She tried to just steer it towards goal, and it was one of those headers for Abby Brown where she has to generate so much power if she wants to get to it into goal. I think maybe she was just trying to flick it on towards Woodruff. There has been a switch, by the way, in Leeds' attack. Abby Brown has gone to left midfield. Macy Ellis has gone back to right. I am not changing my team sheet for the third time in 25-30 minutes. But Stourbridge get a bit of momentum as Brown is bundled to the ground. That isn't a positional change that weakens Leeds. It is obviously something that Wick Passmore believes is a positive sign. As Stourbridge are not happy with a little kick out there from Witham on the back of the ankle. They will want a free kick. There is certainly a passionate section of Stourbridge fans in that area of the ground, and Abby Brown is not happy at the decision to give a free kick. So Brown and the referee will come together to discuss things. I think it's very important as a cup final. Easy for us to say, of course, we're not in the emotion of being on the pitch, in the middle, in the team talks, in the dressing room. Very important 10 minutes this. Leeds can't feel sorry for themselves for the goal. Got to just try and move on and just pass it. There's a little setback, and I think you've been saying it a few times. It's been a really strong performance despite the scoreline. Yeah,
obviously leading up to half-time is obviously a very important part of the game anyway, but obviously just with that late goal there from Stourbridge, I think Leeds need to get a foothold and obviously make something happen.
Yeah, Smith goes straight through the back of the goal scorer Fishwick. You can clearly see Stourbridge have got the bit between their teeth. They're racing forward for the set piece. Lawrence was the one that put it to the ground, suggesting she was going to take it. It isn't her though, it will be Sophie Levick that will take the set piece. So Leeds pretty much have everybody back. Rick Passmore wants somebody to mark Lawrence up, and it is Danielle Witham that has in fact made her way at least within a decent proximity of the captain. Smart heads clear. Hannon's back there as well. Hannon's clearance will find Abby Brown, who puts her foot through it to clear out towards the halfway line. Reminder of the Leeds bench is Robson, Danby, Underdown and Elliott. As Abby Brown charges forward for Leeds. Smart wins the header. Brown is in the right position at least to try and pick possession up, but Lawrence stops her from getting it. As Levick goes back to goalkeeper Amy Preston, who's certainly caught the eye for her ability to stop the efforts coming in from Leeds, although it is 1-1. She's made 3 great saves as Ellis try and takes it past Levick. Levick stands her ground and will win the challenge, concedes a throw. Hindle clearly wants more of an option. Woodruff is picked out. Woodruff, I think, was at first trying to turn it straight back to her full back. Couldn't get it there, but Leeds will win another throw-in, albeit further down the pitch. Around 7 minutes to go until half-time. If you are wondering, yes, the clocks have changed today. This game did kick off 15 minutes later than originally planned. And we do have extra time and penalties scheduled. Woodruff has a high challenge from Lawrence. Woodruff goes past and wins a free kick, but Lawrence certainly had the leg raised there. I'm glad she didn't make contact. Emma Woodruff wins yet another free kick, but I think she just managed to avoid the leg, because if not, that would have been a painful one.
Yeah, obviously she come really high, like you say. I think she kind of had her leg out there, but she obviously kind of just pulled out, so it wasn't a contact, but still quite a dangerous move there.
Right, so we have 2 players for Leeds United women over the set piece. The red boots of Olivia Smart with her back to goal is discussing tactics with Abby Brown, Leeds' joint top scorer in all competitions. Amy Woodruff holds that record alongside her. Smart and Brown are gesturing as if one of them could take it. It will be Brown, left-footed, top corner, just whistles past the post. And it's one of those where, with bated breath, you just feel it's going to go in. I know from your body language, Jodie, you thought that was dipping in that far corner.
Yeah, it just seemed to keep travelling, and obviously all we saw was net, and then it just kind of goes wide.
So Stourbridge have certainly got some passionate fans behind that goal today, cheering their team on. They'll have been the section of the arena that would certainly be most panicked there. As Stourbridge come forward, Olivia Smart has to make this challenge. She does. As Smith takes control and she plays it sideways without anybody looking. Leeds just getting a little bit panicked at the back there. As Simpson gets hold of possession and keeps things under control. Hindle looks for Brown. Brown's first touch allows her to just control matters. Williams will try and take it forward. Paige Williams has played winger for Leeds, so she is comfortable in this area of the pitch. She glides forward to Brown. Brown's got space to shoot. Will she take it? Brown rises the challenge, goes for goal. She drags it wide and just couldn't get the effort on goal she wanted, but will take the positives. The play, the build-up, the little flick away from Brown. And I think from where she was, we know the standards she set, she'll be annoyed. But again, it's confident play, it's on the front foot, Jodie, and Leeds are playing with confidence again.
Yeah, I was expecting her to shoot just before the touch that she took, so I think obviously just a little bit of confidence that she's able to take that next touch before she shoots is obviously something positive as well. It's just unfortunate that it goes wide.
Yeah, Hindle slaps her thighs in frustration because she wanted it wide from Hamill. Catherine Hamill is as experienced as you get back there for Leeds United women, so she clearly felt there was something amiss. That Woodruff flicking the header on. Ellis is there. Preston and the defender Levick weren't too sure, and that is not a player you want to give half a chance to. Macy Ellis, she's the quickest player out there for Leeds. Hannon to Smart. Leeds have started to put the ball down and play football again, and it's helping them come right through the middle of midfield. Witham is fouled. Leeds are caught out. They will try and win it back. Witham will go and make a challenge of her own, and that is one of pure frustration. And Daniel Witham races back to help out, and what she clearly thought was a moment of not panic but positivity really for Stourbridge. If that pass is made, Leeds are on the back foot.
Yeah, and obviously Daniel Witham was very quick to get up off the deck and kind of make that foul, stop that attack. I know Lawrence were complaining about something to the face, but I don't think she meant anything in it.
Yeah, Ellis has been picked up in space. This is where Leeds United want Macy Ellis running with freedom and plenty of room to manoeuvre. She's got Woodruff in the middle. Ellis tries to cut it across towards her. It's gone behind, and Brown wasn't there in the nick of time either. Witham tried to float it forward. Woodruff was on hand. Abby Brown looks in disappointment at Danielle Witham, and Leeds frustrated as they concede a goal kick. But if we can rewind and have that sort of area again, that is perfect for Macy Ellis. Give her space, let her run, and those defenders will not enjoy themselves.
Yeah, I think as a defender I probably expected her to go to the line and obviously cut it back, but she did brilliantly there to get that ball through. It's unfortunate there was nobody there in that space.
I think it's more the speed of Ellis rather than Brown being out of position. And with the ball over the top as well, that was equally as effective as Hindle just nudges the Stourbridge player out of the way. So many good 50-50 battles out there this afternoon. Here is one of them as Deasby holds up possession. She rolls it to her right. Smart gets on it first. Williams has gone across to the left, and that midfield three working really well. Williams flicks it to Smart. Smart tries to send it to Woodruff. Out comes the goalkeeper, and Woodruff just needed a little bit longer to get her legs stuck out to try and hook it towards goal. And that was beautiful from Paige Williams and Olivia Smart as Leeds concede a free kick. Witham furious here. Lawrence asking for maybe a bit more punishments. And Leeds may be walking a bit of a tightrope with certain areas if they keep making these fouls. I think the biggest issue might be dissent. As a referee yourself, I'm sure you've experienced what that is like with players being frustrated. It's a very fine line between it being a cup final and you being so proud to be there, and then maybe walking and talking yourself into trouble though.
Yeah, I think from the body language it looks like the Leeds players are obviously just so passionate about the game, and obviously that they feel like it wasn't a foul, or they felt like just the wrong call to make. So hopefully they're not saying too much to the referee. Smart
Collects into Williams. Williams just takes her time. I think Paige Williams had a really good game out there today. One of the best I've seen her play as a centre midfielder, because last year she was deployed, as I said, as a winger. She's played with such confidence. Smart tried to play it forward. There was nobody there in Leeds colours. Smart just leaves one in a little bit as well, and it's a 10-second spell to forget for Olivia Smart. She will apologise, and I think the referee is perfectly within his right to have a word. I think she'll do well to produce another challenge. This would be what I think you would call in your game as a ref an official warning. No, yellow card in fact. So referee's done the other side, talking to, and then explaining the decision. I mean, in fairness, Stourbridge were away down the wing.
Yeah, I think obviously it's just reckless. It's just gone down as, and obviously a promising attack if it goes past her. And I think obviously before that there was a build-up of a couple of fouls from Leeds.
To edge of the 6-yard box, headed away by Catherine Hamill. The 3 Stourbridge shirts ready to pounce. Very important touch as Ellis gets it. Needs a bit of help here, Macy Ellis. She will race her way down the wing. Levitt coming across. She's tackled. Here's Ellis. She stayed down, and well, Levitt thought she got the ball. It was a good duel that as well. And Macy Ellis is down. We hope she's okay. I mean, we'll take the free kick, but a very, very close call. Your thoughts here, Jodie?
I think she's just probably got a touch, maybe a toe to it, and it just looked, maybe from the referee's angle, it looks like a foul.
Now, your thoughts on a yellow card? Is there a difference between that challenge and Olivia Smart's?
Not too much, to be honest, I don't think, but it looks like they're not going to get it.
Yeah, Ellis for now is just making sure she's okay. Official just asking if she maybe needs the treatment. Macy Ellis will tough it out until the break. Maybe landed awkwardly there as Rachel Hindle has a chat with Abby Brown about what perhaps should be to come from this set piece. And Brown gets it down. Levick tries to defend herself to the official. So only a 2-player wall for Stourbridge. The goalkeeper, Amy Preston, clearly happy with that. There is a big gap as Hindle takes it near post. Nobody on the same page as Leeds just try and mop up. Smart will clear downfield, and there goes the half-time whistle. So a very, very competitive FA Women's National League plate competition final at the Armco Arena. We'll see the two teams go in at 1 apiece at the break. Ellis's opener cancelled about 4 minutes later by Fishwick. It's been a entertaining and determined battle between both teams, Jodie. Is there something in the second half you feel Leeds need to do to get the upper hand?
I think they obviously just come out as they did in the first half. Obviously, they challenged for every ball, and the work rate was out there absolutely brilliant. I know Paige Williams, she seemed very comfortable in the middle, like we spoke about. She obviously done herself a really good game there. So obviously, hopefully we can see more of it in the second half and get a couple more goals.
Yeah, fingers crossed. It is better fortunes in the second 45. So that's all for us here on the UTV so far. Join us in around 15 minutes time for the second half coverage.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect. All right, pal. Nice one.
Welcome back to LUTV's coverage this afternoon. We are at the Amco Arena for a very, very important game for Leeds United women. They're in the final of the FA WNL Plate. If you're only just joining us on our respective ways to watch our game this Sunday afternoon, and it is one apiece at half-time as we get back underway for the second half in this cup final. Macy Ellis's opener in the 30th minute was all thanks to the hard work of Amy Woodruff, who held the ball up, shot across goal, pressed and saved before Ellis thumped the ball home, only for Fishwick to catch Carrie Simpson a little bit off guard with a looping shot 4 minutes later. Myself, Tom Hill, and Jodie Hunter have brought you all the first half coverage, and second half we hope is more relaxing, because if we take our Leeds United hats off, which is very, very tough because we've probably got 5 or 6 on each, we see two very neutral teams in terms of Leeds have momentum, then Stourbridge have momentum. There's not a lot in it. We said earlier, Stourbridge are top of their league, the same level that Leeds play at in the Midlands, and the signs are this could be a nerve-wracking second half, but it was a lot of positives for Rick Passmore's men, Jodie, in the first 45.
Yeah, there's obviously a lot to play for, and obviously this is it now. Obviously you've got to put everything in place, everything you've worked for pretty much all season. We're very back at the back end of the season now, and obviously this is what Leeds are obviously playing for, and they obviously want to get a trophy in the cabinet this season.
Yeah, so Leeds' team then very quickly is Simpson, Hindle, Hamill, Hannon, Smart, Williams, Witham, Ellis, Brown, Smith and Woodruff, and the bench Robson, Danby, Underdown and Elliott. As Stourbridge come forward, only for Brady Hannon to cut them off at source. Simpson had to be quick to get across. That's rather than the clearance, is a perfect pass to Brown. As Smart goes down the line looking for Woodruff, clears out for a throw. So Stourbridge go with Preston, Levick, Hazelgrave, Hadley, Clark, Moran, Lawrence, Fishwick, Nicklin, Rogers, Deesby. The bench is then Morley, Glover, Bate, McGovern and Murphy. So two teams playing on an important day in the women's game, the Women's Football Weekend 23. It's where fans are encouraged to attend a domestic game, and you know the numbers that they've gone out in there today. Leeds' fans, a couple of coaches to go to the Midlands for the game. Stourbridge's fans have been just as passionate. Advert hopefully for Leeds United women is one with the trophy in their hands, but they've done themselves proud so far. Hopefully, as Jodie says, we get the icing on the cake, but to do that they will need to make their way forward. We do have a lack of support in the near side stand to retrieve the balls. Olivia Smart is trying to demonstrate just that. So the skipper this afternoon will make her way down the line to take the throw. She has Witham running backwards in the middle, Brown closest to her. Down the line is Woodruff in those fluorescent blue boots of hers. She goes towards the goal line, tries to win a corner. She's just out-muscled by Sophie Hazelgrave, and it will be a goal kick, which is taken quickly to Levick, who looks to be the comfortable ball-playing centre-half that Stourbridge will no doubt be happy to go into. As we say that, I've cursed her perfectly because she gives the ball away. So if I continue to do that all afternoon, then it's going to be good, Jodie.
I think it was perfect timing that. Obviously she did look very comfortable on the ball, and obviously she had a lot of space, and I think she just made quite a big mistake there, thanks to you.
I mean, I'll take the credit. It's not often I do something right. As Stourbridge get in midfield, there is Williams to be a nuisance as she was all in the first half. Ellis racing back, has to be careful. Same to be said for Catherine Smith, and the referee is going to give a free kick here, and I think that's Ellis's contribution rather than Smith's. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think I agree there. Obviously if it's just the one, he might play on and see what the advantage brings, but he obviously had to bring it back for the second.
Yeah, free kick taken short. Leeds perhaps expected something a little different, so on the back foot for a second as Brady Hannon will clear downfield, and it's a thumping clearance that puts the ball pretty much on halfway. He's been possession, the top goal scorer for Stourbridge, 22 goals to her name. Leeds hoping to keep her quiet as the ball comes in, and a touch away. I think it was the touch from goal scorer Fishwick that took it off the boots of the midfielder running in. We'll get a replay, I'm sure, to analyse that a bit further. But a moment of real panic for Leeds United there as Lawrence goes to the ground. And it was an air kick in the end, and that was going to go either top net of the back of the net or top of the stand as Zoe Clark is fouled, and Brown will get carded for that challenge on Amber Lawrence. Do you agree that's a yellow card?
I think it's just a very clumsy. I think maybe it's a build-up of what happened in the first half.
Yeah, an accumulation perhaps of those challenges, so Brown will have to be careful. So in terms of yellow cards, we have Olivia Smart and Abby Brown who have picked them up. So do look out for number 4 and number 9 to hopefully be on their best behaviour. Here is Olivia Smart to try and get to the ball and stop this cross coming in. She will do that, but she concedes a corner. And now Stourbridge to test this Leeds United backline out with a set piece, which will be taken by Sophie Levick. Levick certainly taking her time before she delivers the set piece. Header from Hannon. Woodruff closing down. Leeds will win a goal kick there, and Amy Woodruff doing the hard yards going back towards her own goal, and we know she works hard. That is a fine example of it. Really good work from the striker, who now we're making her way down the field to help out. A Smart panics everybody. A risky pass into Smith. She is upended by the number 6, Alex Nicklin, who apologises to Smith. As panic set in with a couple of Leeds players. They had it all under control in the end. Stourbridge, though, first 5 minutes have started the better, I think, of the second half, Jodie.
Yeah, they just seem a little bit more alert and obviously a little bit more first to the ball. So hopefully we can put a stop to that, and Catherine Smith can lead us through.
Yeah, Smith on hand to go to Ellis. Space for Ellis, maybe even to shoot. She'll take that. It is blocked. Ellis gets a second bite of the cherry. She's just upended with a timely challenge. The two Stourbridge players run into each other, then Witham concedes a free kick. That's good work from Stourbridge's number 19, Zoe Clark, because she just puts her body in the way at the very last second. Shrewd operator. And an opportunity goes begging for Leeds. A little bit scrappy rather than what they probably wanted, with a bit more fluidity. But getting Ellis in those areas is crucial to success this afternoon as Hindle wins it back. Ellis sets off on her way to down dispossess as Levick will clear. Headed by Williams, perfectly inside by Williams. And no wonder everybody on the bench is getting up to their feet to applause. Rebecca Bass with the knee strapping on as captain, or as club captain of this team. Can't play, of course, the rest of this season due to her knee injury. She was leading the applause as Ellis tried to get to the ball. Williams will nip in again. Williams to Hindle. Hindle goes into the area, gets her delivery wrong and behind for a goal kick. Taken short out of the back, that's towards Hazelgrave, and Woodruff will be the closest towards her. Pretty easy stuff for Hannon to just mop up. Kath Hamill knows her inside out and gets it towards Woodruff. Ellis was asking for it in behind. Woodruff just couldn't decide which pass to play. No indecisiveness though from Witham to Ellis. Woodruff's trying to get into the area. Ellis denied with the cutback. Hindle going for it, this time towards Brown. Brown's right underneath the ball. Both of them misjudge it. Abby Brown goes for a second attempt. It just won't clip inside the post. And Abby Brown looking for 12 for the season in all competitions. Is not too far away. Very awkward for Abby Brown to try and turn it goalwards. That's a decent effort considering she had somebody right on her shoulder.
Yeah, I think she obviously did really well, especially in the 6-yard box there, to even get a leg that high, but to get it on target, I think it was a bit too much to ask.
Yeah, Brown nearly gets to that ball, and Amy Preston thumps it clear. We know Carrie Simpson's had a storming season for Leeds. She was one of those players that had such a role to play against Arsenal in the Cup. She's had such an important role this season, but you can see why Stourbridge have had so much success, not only goal scoring, but Preston clearly a very capable goalkeeper at this level. She's been so quick off her line to stop Leeds as their subs get on their way down the line as Hindle flies in with a challenge. That is Robson and Danby warming up early doors for Leeds.
I think Preston, she oozes confidence, as you can see how well she moves in and around the box. She's obviously very confident. She puts that confidence in her back line as well after the season they've had. It's understandable.
Smith with a thumping clearance downfield, gets to the ball first. With her just doing enough to slow the player down, though she will bring another challenge in. That is several fouls she's made, and I think that's what Stourbridge's coaching team and the fan base are now asking for. And yeah, the referee is pointing them out. I think the referee has kept things as fair as he possibly can. And Daniel Witham is carded, and I don't think complaints can be made towards it.
I think she knows as well. She obviously just jogged back into position there. She knows there's been an accumulation of fouls, whether she agreed with them or not.
Free kick taken short, delivered in by Clark. Carrie Simpson is on hand, with them waving her down the pitch to hurry things along. Simpson herself encouraging people to get further down the pitch as she tries to play in Woodruff, headed away as Williams mops up, as does Catherine Smith for the precise pass to Smart. To Brown. Stourbridge defence very narrow there, and that stopped the Leeds' progression. Tanya Witham will now have to watch herself. She looked to be very tempted to fly in there, as Catherine Smith isn't tempted to fly in, and she tries to play the ball inside to Ellis, and there is Levick to show her class at the back to concede the throw. And Catherine Smith, as a number 10, will want to create. She wants to be a goal scorer herself. That was a good ball, and you just can't say anything else but good defending.
Yeah, I think the timing was perfect for her to step in there and into an attacking role, and obviously play that pass through. Perfectly timed. It's just the defender was good there to get that ball out of danger.
Yeah, so Hindle has one willing runner in Ellis. Woodruff was always the target, you feel, and that is because she can hold the ball up as Hindle switches it inside. Two Stourbridge players went for the same ball. Has Preston kept it alive? She has. She's done so well to fly across her box and not concede a goal kick. Great ball by Hindle. Caused a lot of panic at the back as Woodruff again rise the challenge. Woodruff shooting space, tries to go for it, and Amy Woodruff, first touch wasn't the best in terms of hold up play, but she managed to take it in her stride. Roll with the punches, Amy Woodruff, as she always does. She just plods her way forward. She's so hard to get hold of, and that was an effort that was panicking the goalkeeper a little less loft, and I think we sat at 2-1.
Yeah, I think it was brilliant play. Like I say, every time we say her name, it's brilliant play, brilliant hold up play. Obviously she gets her shot off. It's just unfortunate.
Got a brace to put Leeds through to this round of the competition. She has led the line really well this year. Abby Brown's played that position. Of course, recently Jess Russo has gone into that slot. Smith lays it off to Hindle. Flying challenge from Stourbridge. There is Witham further forward. She will bounce away from one. Down the line from Levick, and Leeds slowly growing into this second half, trying to pile their way forward. Turn Stourbridge onto the back foot. This cup final is delicately poised in Solihull at the Armco Arena, as Leeds look for a first major trophy since 2010 for the women's team. As Witham up and under to put pressure on the defence. Hazelgrave deals with it only as far as Ellis. Hindle goes early again. Hazelgrave flicks it away. Williams got a touch to that clearance, which has helped Smith get to it. Smith is so unfortunate not to ride the challenge and come away, and Leeds defensively now have to get back in numbers. Thankfully, Hannon is close to Niamh Deasby to slow her down at least. Deasby is directing the traffic with her arm, but her pass is astray. And Bridie Hannon, Kath Hamill and Rachel Hindle were all back, which just stopped that counter-attack. It was never panic for Leeds, it was more about just assured getting bodies behind the ball. They've dealt with that really well.
Yeah, I think Bridie Hannon, obviously her first thought was just to delay as much as possible and try and recruit as many defenders as we can. You know, Olivia Smart was on her way back, and fortunately it went wide for Stourbridge.
Yeah, so a change for Stourbridge. That is Ellie McGovern in the number 16 that is making her way onto the pitch. She will replace Esme Moran, who was wearing number 11 this afternoon. So the first sub of the match goes Stourbridge's way. I'm sure Rick Passmore will have umpteen ideas in his head of what he wanted as an ideal cup final. 3 yellow cards to his players was not on the script, but it's a hard one. You're in a cup final that's got extra time, it's got penalties, you'll want people you can leave on the pitch for that responsibility. You then need to trust your players to not get into trouble. Well, Leeds have got to see this out. It was never going to be easy, but so far steady performance has got them level pegging with Stourbridge, top of their league, Division 1 in the Midlands. As Woodruff was the target for a throw. Fourth official picks it up for Rachel Hindle to have a second go at it. With them heads it on, only out of play Stourbridge to have their own throw in as we pass the hour mark. Deasby, Hamill always touch tight to her hit to try and stop her. Hindle covers that missing centre-back spot. Hannon's touch wasn't too effective, but then the communication from Bridie Hannon, perfect. Telling Olivia Smart all the time, you go wide, I've got this covered. And the defenders had it all under control as Catherine Hamill strides out of defence. Wide to Catherine Smith, who takes it in her stride and goes forward for Woodruff, who had just dropped short. And Levick goes back, so the final of the FA WNL plate is as finely poised as I think we've had it in this cup final. There's nobody now on top, and I said earlier in the game subs might change things. Do you have a prediction of when you think Rick Passmore might look to his bench, or is it something you expect to be delayed with it being a cup final?
I think with the score as it is, I think he'd be probably a bit more delayed in his decision as he would in a league game, just because obviously the potential of extra time, and obviously you want as many players in contention for that. You don't want to make your subs too early, although you do obviously want to prevent that from going into extra time and getting the game done after 90 minutes.
We will see what if the prediction is correct as Hindle goes to Woodruff. Been a real problem. Floating ball, keeper's missed it. Here's Abby Brown, sets herself! Oh, real composure for Brown. And a goal for Leeds United, and the two forwards combine. The first mistake from Amy Preston was to rush out of her goal, and the split-second decision for Abby Brown to say, just need to make sure this is wrestled into that far corner, is a decision that is perfect for Leeds United. She could have snatched at this, but she set herself and wallop. Leeds United 2, Stourbridge 1. A real breakthrough, Jodie, for Leeds United.
Yeah, she was excellently composed there. She obviously waited. She saw that the touch was coming from the keeper. She just backs off and just sets herself nicely with an open net in front of her and smashes the ball home.
Brilliant moment for Leeds. Brown gets her goal. She now has 12 in all competitions for the season. And, I mean, I've seen her score plenty of goals with her right foot, but if we're going to be picky, that is her so-called weaker foot. But she set herself, planted her feet, made sure. And in a cup final, fine margins are often the way that these sort of occasions are decided. And a fingertip from Amy Preston has helped Leeds on their way, but Stourbridge, just like they did with the first goal, are just as motivated to get back. That's Paige Williams flying in. The Stourbridge fans demanding free kicks left, right and centre. Leeds are putting their bodies on the line to try and get in the way, as it's Brown getting back to try and cover. She's on a card herself as she tries to get to the byline. Floating delivery. Smith slices the clearance. Fired back in. Goalkeeper tips it onto the crossbar to show it's going to be a goal kick. And Carrie Simpson is a very, very relieved goalkeeper out there. And it is Zoe Clark going for goal, and it has just clipped the crossbar. I'm not sure Simpson got a touch. In credit to Carrie Simpson, I think she was going to get one. And she's maybe come off second best, landing awkwardly, but it's like Stourbridge get awoken when Leeds United score. We're going to have to score 3 or 4, aren't we?
It seems that way.
Really is a tense cup final, this, and Simpson, I think, doing the right thing. Even if she wasn't fully injured on that occasion, she just took 20 seconds as a goalkeeper. She's just trying to relieve the pressure on everybody else in front of her. She does that now by telling everybody to get further forward and let's get this long downfield, because Amy Woodruff's at the heart of our attack. She can win flick-on headers just like that. Leeds, for now, have lost that midfield control as Stourbridge come forward. Here is the goal scorer of the first, Fishwick. Getting back there is Catherine Smith. There's numbers out wide though. Here is Deesby. Kath Hamill covering as best she can. Deesby trying to get to the goal line and swing the ball in. Kath Hamill trying to stop her from doing just that, but Stourbridge have got what they wanted. And Niamh Deesby wins a corner, Jodie.
Yeah, I think obviously Kath Hamill, she knew she just had to make sure she wasn't going anywhere, and obviously all she could do was get a corner.
Coming up for it is Sophie Levick, one of the centre halves for Stourbridge. It is 2-1 to Leeds United. If you're just joining us here on LUTV, they have a corner to defend for now. Levick's delivery is as bad as you're going to see for a set piece. She's got that all wrong. And ever since I said she was the best passer on the pitch for Stourbridge, she's given the ball out for a throw and kicked a corner for a goal kick.
You need to give a few more compliments to Stourbridge.
I'll think about it as Brown collects possession. Again, first touch is perfect, releases Witham. Witham now sets her way forward to Smart. 2 in the area, trying to get there as Smart goes early. Olivia Smart will regret that. She kicks the area in frustration. And a moment for Leeds just perhaps to carry that in. It's so easy for us to see the pitch, to see what she could have done better. And I think if she got the chance to rewind time and go back, she would have carried that further forward as Woodruff puts the pressure on. Clears it out as Preston, so Woodruff's presence was at least enough to win a throw. But dissecting that move, even though Smart's cross wasn't what she wanted, the support play, the challenge to win it, Olivia Smart racing down the left, you can see the passion out there from the players. Leeds really do want to go and get that third. They're playing for it as Ellis collects, rides the challenge, having her ankle snapped away as she goes back to Hannon. Leeds will go wide to Smart, up towards Woodruff, just underneath her. Stourbridge will clear, only as far as Captain Smart into Williams. Williams lays it off to Catherine Smith, who has to jink inside away from the referee. She floats it to Ellis. It's a good pass that. Now can Ellis make something of it? Williams going towards her. Ellis lays it off just about, but Hindle stopped by the tracking back, number 10, Rogers. It's Catherine Smith with a bit of elusive footwork and a little back heel to win a free kick. And control is just what Rick Passmore will want from his team. He might not get it with it being a cup final, but would it be the worst thing for 5 minutes of just keeping the ball rather than going for a third? I know they're not going to, but hard line, it's a fine line, isn't it?
Yeah, I think obviously just showing that composure on the ball obviously would, I think, open up Stourbridge. And obviously, like, just going back to that passage of play, I think it just stunned them a little bit, just how easy it was to open them up. And obviously, we've just seen a momentum of change going to Leeds' favour. Yeah,
big gap here for Ellis. That was spotted by Smart. Ellis tried to deliver, has got the delivery wrong, unfortunately. maybe had one of those situations where she had that much time to think about that pass coming to her. We surprised Stourbridge didn't go mark Macy Ellis up?
Yeah, definitely, with her pace and how dangerous she's been throughout the game. Obviously getting the first goal, she'd definitely be one that would be man marking.
Paige Williams flies in and wins Leeds United a throw, and the bench reacted. You can see the section of Leeds supporters singled out by their flag in that far end, as we have got a change for Stourbridge, and that was Amber Lawrence that is coming off. She is the captain of Stourbridge officially on the team sheet, and Lindsay Glover will be the replacement for her. So from what we've had originally, she was the shield protecting the back four of Stourbridge. The number 7 comes on, which Stourbridge will have hope, of course, that it's an attacking change that influences the scoreline. Witham's touch takes her wide. She's quick enough to get there anyway. And while she concedes a goal kick, Leeds will feel it was better than a throw-in with 20, 30 yards downfield. Deesby flicks it back. Fishwick got there. Presence from Williams put the midfielder off. Hannon went early. Woodruff nips in. The two Leeds players were just going for the same ball, so that was why there was nobody dropping back. Heavy touch from Glover, first one. She's asking for it in behind. You can see from her body language she wants the ball over the top, so that's a battle we have to watch in the final 20. Simpson goes to Bridie Hannon and tries to go inside. Hannon apologises. It's okay, Bridie, we've got a goal kick. Calm down. And still 2-1 to Leeds. If you're just joining us here then on LUTV, goals from Ellis and Brown, 30 and 63, have put Leeds 2-1 up. Stourbridge's first equaliser, or only equaliser, came in the 34th minute as there's a foul given against Amy Woodruff. So, coming together, she thought it was a shoulder barge. The officials disagree. And into the final 20 we go. Williams nips in, doesn't win all of the ball, but enough to get Leeds back in possession. Then she turns it across to Woodruff. Here is Witham, 2 over her right shoulder. She goes wide to Brown. Woodruff's getting in there. Brown takes it sideways instead. Williams will pop up in that spot to try and help out. She'll have to be quick here, Williams, and she is. She wins a superb challenge to get Leeds back on the front foot. Hindle towards the byline, 3 in the area for Leeds. Hindle floats it in towards Woodruff. Header away from goal. Preston's on hand, and Leeds just can't find the space to shoot with much conviction. That cross was always underneath the goal strike that the forward Woodruff, but again the play from Williams, the support play from everybody involved as Hannah nips in. And I like this from Leeds, Jodie. They're going through the motions, they're creating chances. When it doesn't work, right, let's regroup, we'll start again, let's create another. There is no panic out there.
Yeah, it's very composed on the ball. Obviously they just keep going and obviously not giving Stourbridge a minute to think.
Leeds, big applause from Catherine Smith. Rachel Hindle running around like a mad woman out there at the right back spot, trying to just put any pressure she could on the full-back on the opposite side. It worked, and she now has a throw-in which she takes to Woodruff, who done so well under the high ball today. She gets it to Catherine Smith, who goes long. Macy Ellis will chase what looked like a lost cause to create perhaps an opportunity. Ellis backs them up into the penalty area. Comes Woodruff. There is Woodruff, header towards goal. Oh yes, Amy Woodruff, she puts Leeds United 3-1 up here at Solihull. And the brilliance of Macy Ellis, then to Woodruff, diving header into the far corner. It's a striker's dream of a delivery, and boy, what a finish that is. Leeds United are 17 minutes away for their first major trophy, and they lead by 2 goals. What a header.
It's brilliant here from Macy Ellis again. Obviously she just takes her time, finds a pass, and Amy Woodruff doesn't disappoint there. She knows exactly where that corner is. Got one apiece for each of the attacking players. It's perfect.
Oh, it's brilliant. It really is from Woodruff. You couldn't get any more precise into that far corner, and you can see everybody out there on the pitch so fired up. Ivy Brown is still playing a cup final every week.
Definitely rose to the occasion here.
You cannot. I think the main thing is, with so much time left for a comeback, so we can't say that this is job done. It's far, far from that. I think everybody has. That's the best thing. I'll get your thoughts on that in a second, because Brown will carry this forward. She's been covered all the time by Hadley. There is Witham, who forgets the ball for a second but has enough composure to get it in the area to Woodruff, who controls it. Too many Stourbridge shirts in her way. And Stourbridge go forward. There is Kath Hamill. Simpson tells her to move out of the way because she's going to clear this ball out of the stand, so we will get a break. But I mean, in all games, you can't have... Well, you can, but not often do you get 11 players playing very, very well. But there hasn't been anybody that's looked nervous. Nobody's made loads of mistakes and everyone's carried them through. It has been 11 solid efforts all around the park. It might be needed to be more if we need subs off the bench. And just as we stand now at 75 minutes, I don't think you could have asked much more from any of them.
Well, like you say, obviously they just all played for each other. They definitely rose to the occasion. It's definitely a sense of belief in the camp, and obviously it's all to play for in a final, and it's exactly how you want your players to play. So I'm sure Rick is very happy here.
Yeah, Leeds United women with a free kick, which Hindle will just take her time with. Them tried to flick the ball on, just didn't have the touch she wanted. Smart nipped in. There is Catherine Smith, who has just broke up play. And rather than give the ball away, she plays it safe and goes wide to Simpson, who goes even safer to Smart, just gets it down the line, and Olivia Smart will have loved every second of that. Sends the player the opposite way. Daniel Witham will ride the challenge. Leeds are flying forward now. The confidence is oozing out of them. They want a fourth. They want to put this final to bed. As Abby Brown races back up the line, there's Olivia Smart. That's more like Olivia Smart's normal game, with the header back. And Leeds are just trying to see this game out. Levick will take control. Claims from Leeds that ball hasn't come in. Appeals and suggestions are that does need to be retaken. I'm going to blame that on the gloves that Levick's wearing. Lack of true grip on the ball. And she lets her fullback take control. Steesby goes back. Hadley goes forward. Kath Hamill's right underneath it. And as per usual, Catherine Hamill deals with something at the back when it looked to be a bit of a nervous moment. Gap in behind, but Stourbridge's player, number 7 Glover, nowhere near it. There is Carrie Simpson to mop up and collect. 3-1 to Rick Passmore's Leeds United women in this final. Bridie Hannon looks long to Ellis. Stalking her prey all the time was with them. Still no sign of a sub from Rick Passmore, as Miss Ellis will race back the other way. She will concede a throw. Hindle now gets back. Easby tries to take it away from her. She's had 22 goals this season in her league in the Midlands this season. As it stands, he's not had a shot. There's a chance here for Glover though. As she goes in, Carrie Simpson uses every single inch of her height and reach and reflexes to stop Glover from lofting the ball over her head, and it came from nothing. Levick's ball forward, really delicate flick on. Olivia Smart wasn't expecting, and Carrie Simpson, it's not one of those saves that's for the cameras, but very, very effective Jodie all the same.
She looks like it doesn't faze her whatsoever. She just obviously reaches up and just collects the ball. Very composed.
There is Smith, up and over the top. Abby Brown will chase it down. Hadley's trying to get the ball clear down the wing. She will do so, but only as far as Olivia Smart. Flicked it to Hannon. Hannon was trying to return the pass, just maybe a risk that wasn't necessary. Leeds will regroup and try their best to get back. Brady Hannon makes an amends. Then she flies into Paige Williams, who has read everything like a book all day, Paige Williams. And out wide to Ellis it goes. Ellis rides the challenge, takes them on, and will now race away. She gets a nudge for her troubles. Woodruff tries to take it from her. Maybe something she regrets as it goes down the line. Catherine Smith will fly in. That perhaps is going to be another free kick and another yellow card to add to the collection. Referee wants a word. And the fourth official will encourage the physio to come on. And just looking at the players, well, Levick has gone across to give her peace of mind. There is going to be frustration for Stourbridge. You want that competitive edge. Catherine Smith knows all about it. She is going to apologise, but I mean, of all the challenges that have been yellow cards, that's perhaps been the most ferocious. She apologises, and I expect frustration from Stourbridge's players. It wasn't a good challenge. I think Leeds, in particular, Smith has done well not to react to the third player coming in.
Yeah, I think obviously there's no way she's getting the ball there. She just kind of catches her leg completely, and there's no way she can have any comments against the referee's decision there. We just hope that the player's up and well ready to carry on the game.
Yeah, fingers crossed, as you say, Jodie, that's the most important thing. Levick is asking for further punishment, perhaps, which never really want to see. But that's the occasion. It's a cup final. And if she's not fired up, there's something wrong. Ellis just coming across to get a drink, get some instructions. As we see a replay of the last action for Leeds, which Smith was involved in, Woodruff was in. I think that's the best thing for this goal. Now you've realised, had time to dissect it. It was Woodruff's flick on header that went wrong. Down the line to Ellis, and that is a cross. And that is such a good finish from Amy Woodruff. And no wonder she jumps in the air in delight. And that is a final worthy goal to seal the deal, hopefully, for Leeds. We hope there's further goals. And Rick Passmore is playing peacemaker. He'll have seen Levick asking for further punishment. He was at least on hand to give the Stourbridge player a drink. Very level-headed. I like to see that from Leeds' manager.
He's also picked up water boy and ball boy.
Yeah, he's done a lot. His team are winning by 3-1, so he'll be in a good mood, I'm sure, but he can't take his eye off the prize. Nobody can for Leeds. Sarah Danby is perhaps the indicator of the first change that he might make. She is the one that's closest to the pitch, maybe waiting for instructions. As Hindle heads clear, it's into the number 6, Nicklin. As she flicks the ball on, Leeds will try and cover this and mop it up, and there is Catherine Hamill to do just that. Catherine Hamill just has a word with the official about the little late lunge through the back of her calves, as we have 8 minutes of normal time remaining. Misses the header. Hindle wins the challenge. That should be a Leeds ball. It will be. Sarah Danby is being readied by the coaching team. Hindle, I think, was just asking if that was being made now towards Woodruff. Up to Deesby. Catherine Hamill just nips in. Catherine Smith gets across. Witham to Williams. Williams just looks left and sees there's plenty of space, just makes the pass too far in front of Smart. And that Stourbridge fullback in Meg Hadley can't keep her in, so this should give Leeds the time they need to make the change. And I believe this will be for Abby Brown, which it will. and that is one of the players on a yellow card. So we are seeing Rick Passmore manage the game, because that is a winger, and Ivy Brown gets a big round of applause from her teammates for a midfielder. Are we going to see a change in system, or we're going to go like for like? Jodie, your prediction, please.
I feel like we have seen Sarah Danby on the left wing, on right wing in the previous season, so it might possibly be there. I know she sees herself as a gazelle, so it looks that way where she's taking a position up.
Yeah, she is technically very gifted, Sarah Danby. Last couple of weeks been out of the team. She will get her way on to the pitch. Couple of changes for Stourbridge. Good sign of respect there from Smart and the goal scorer, which was Fishwick. She works her way off the pitch, which should mean with two changes it is Bate and Murphy, or potentially Morley coming on. We'll get that confirmed in a second for you, as there are other changes to be made. So one of those was Murphy coming on for Hazelgrave, and the next one with 5 minutes left in a nutshell is all the subs on. So Morley, Bates and Murphy have come on, and they have replaced Hazelgrave, Hadley and Fishwick. So that is Stourbridge's full allocation of their squad. They're going all out here in the final of the FA WNL Plate, Women's National League Plate, such a prestigious competition. First major one that Leeds have been able to win since 2013. As Danby gets onto the ball, Smart plays it off a Stourbridge player, gets it back anyway, now looks to the far post. Ellis trying to readjust her feet to try and head it towards goal. Ellis will now recover. So of course, with so many changes, Jodie, for Stourbridge, it's a case of maybe just going for broke. Leeds have got a few minutes to work out what they're about to play formation wise, as Danby shows signs of a sub, a little bit slow to get into the game. But it's a tense 5 minutes. Stourbridge are just going all out here.
Yeah, hopefully we can obviously make sure that they're not able to set the subs into the game, and hopefully we can keep them off balance. We obviously don't want them up this far up the pitch, and obviously we want to get the ball away from here as much as possible. See in the last couple of minutes of the game.
Yeah, Jess Bate with the throw in. Olivia Smart flicks it on. Catherine Smith just takes her time before going for maximum power down the field of play. 4 minutes or thereabouts to go, 3.5 if we're nitpicking. And then with it being a cup final and tension, can probably at least 4 minutes of stoppage time with a couple of players down for injuries. We've had 6 subs. Smart flies in. That looked like a bruising challenge. As per usual, Olivia Smart just gets up. As Woodruff beaten to it by Levitt, Carrie Simpson calls for it. There she is beaten to it by Deasby, who she had every right to go for the ball. Carrie Simpson, our first thoughts are with her. We hope she's okay. And she's just come off second best, and we hope it's more getting her breath back. But the physios are going to be needed here, so Carrie Simpson, fingers crossed, is able to see out this game. I mean, no doubt a physical collision there. And the main thing as a goalkeeper, once she recovers, was that she just dealt with what the situation was about to unfold. Dangerous ball in, she made it look easy.
Yeah, I think she did very well to obviously come and collect the ball, but I think she obviously didn't see the number 9 player coming at her with such force, and obviously it's just a shock to the system.
Yeah, she's sat up now, which is the positive sign, as Bridie Hannon and Catherine Smith go through tactics. Olivia Smart and Sarah Danby go through a few more instructions towards the end. Leeds are trying to just fine-tune their preparations. We see the last involvement that Carrie Simpson had, and that was a fingertip save to deny Lindsay Glover, the substitute for Stourbridge. And we have a couple of minutes left. And Leeds, I don't think it would surprise anybody if the players started to dream a little bit now. It's now where you start to think, okay, this is it. This is a momentous day. It's our first final for 10 years on a national level as Leeds United Women as a club. You know, doing the women's game proud on a momentous weekend for women's football. First major success it will be since 2010. And this is where you start to think as a group of players, right, 3 more minutes and we've done it.
Yeah, obviously 2-goal cushion. The time on the clock, a few minutes, maybe a bit of added time for a few injuries. But you would like to believe that obviously there's not going to be much more else in the game happening. But like you say, it is a final. So hopefully Leeds can just keep this cushion and see it out.
Messi Ellis will race down the line to retrieve the ball. She's nudged off it. The referee suggests it was a free challenge. Might have spotted somebody in an orange tracksuit top losing her mind. That is captain Rebecca Bass, who no doubt is as nervous as anybody out there on the bench. She'll have checked her watch more times than I'm sure is possible. And that is because she is a surviving member of the Leeds team that lost the final last time out. Leeds are trying to get rid of that memory by scoring here with the 4th goal as Ellis cuts it back. Woodruff was trying to readjust. Here is Witham. Witham goes for it. It is fired wide, but Daniel Witham just trying her luck just to try and seal the deal. And Macy Ellis's pace, Danby was there, Woodruff was there. And yes, it didn't pay off. The main thing, Jodie, is the ball's at the opposite end of the pitch.
Yeah, it's obviously where you want it, on the back foot for Stourbridge. I know here they've got into the half of Leeds, but there's not too much danger.
Yeah, Leeds are racing back as that ball will go out of play as we get into stoppage time of 5 minutes added. And with the time we have left, it is into those sort of areas where Leeds just have to keep things simple, manage the game. The trophy will be yours as Woodruff flies in. And Stourbridge get the ball back. It's into Paige Williams, who finds Witham, who picks out Danby. Ellis is over on the far right-hand side helping out. Danby's going to try and take it all the way before drawing in a foul. She will ride the challenge of Jess Bates. And then Danby goes again. That should be a Leeds corner, and it will be. Sarah Danby wastes what, by the end, once Olivia Smart walks her way to the corner flag, will be over a minute of stoppage time.
Yeah, I think it's very smart play. Now she just casually jots over. The referee hurries her up a little bit. Got some support by Witham and Woodruff, which shows that they're going to try and waste a bit more.
Yeah, Amy Woodruff, I'm sure, will be volunteering to help out, but Witham is going to take it, and Leeds are just going to try and see this one out. Of course, Woodruff can't do too much, otherwise it would be an obstruction. They concede a throw. Looked like it touched a Stourbridge boot and straight out of play. Daniel Witham is perplexed by that decision as Woodruff flies in and wins it back, and now she will just continue to hold the ball up. Levick is going to have a kick out, and to add to her trouble, she bounces off Amy Woodruff, who wins another throw. And this is perfect for Leeds United women in how to see the game out. And now a little bit more time to waste off the clock as we have changes, and the change will be for Macy Ellis, and Savannah Robson will come off. So that's a defensive change, and we are into the final few minutes. And it's sort of about that time, which I didn't want to speak about it too early because I didn't want to jinx it, but we are now in that stage of the game where we can start to say, what does this mean for Leeds United women, Jodie? As yourself, as a player, as part of the group, just how big is this day and this scoreline, and hopefully this big trophy lift?
Well, obviously it means everything. As a club, it's something obviously we strive for in the past seasons, and we've never obviously been able to make it. I think this has just shown just how hard the team have worked together and just what they've built over the last couple of seasons to strive for a trophy. And I think we've worked so hard as a team, as a club, to kind of get this far, and then obviously to hopefully lift the trophy at the end of it. It's just tip of it.
Yeah, I think as a season it puts a success to it, doesn't it? Because we've had FA Cup run where we played one of the world's best teams in Arsenal in the women's game. Yes, the scoreline was firmly in Arsenal's favour, but the game was an occasion to savour. Yes, the league title looks like it's going to be away from Leeds United women this year. The County Cup is now the reserves fighting for it. But this is a sign of progress. Rick Passmore has built a team, a squad, that are now 2 minutes away from a national trophy. And this is foundations for the women's team as we get another change. And just a word on this player going off, because Paige Williams, if I had to read your mind, I think would be your player of the match.
Yeah, definitely. Just how she began the game, and I feel like she put a stamp on it for Leeds in the first half. She marshalled the midfield so well, and she just looked so comfortable. And I feel like she put a foot on the ball and made sure Leeds were first to everything in their first half of the game. So I feel like she fully deserved player of the match from me today.
Yeah, so into the final minutes as Leeds United women are almost there. A 2-goal cushion as Amy Woodruff flies across. Levick isn't happy, and that'll be a yellow card, I'm sure. Woodruff is saying that the ball was there to be won. And referee lets her get away with it as Stourbridge come forward. They're looking to just end the game with a goal to try and make any moment of nerves for Leeds United women, as Olivia Smart will just let this get down the line. She'll try and get goal side. Ball comes in, Simpson punches, it's not fully clear, and Bridie Hannon is on hand to mop up and clear down the line to Witham, who keeps hold of possession. There's a Stourbridge player down with cramp as Olivia Smart sends it down the line. Woodruff towards the ball. There's a free kick for Sarah Danby, and that should be it. There's a smile on Witham's face. But I've asked the official how long's left, and I think when this free kick is taken, Jodie, we're about to see some jubilant scenes on that bench.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we're making one last change as well, just to see the game out.
Will Rick Passmore even get the time to make it, is the question. Abby Brown's taken her jacket off because she wants to celebrate with the number 9 on her back, and we are going to get the time to make this final change, as it will be Amy Woodruff to get her round of applause, and for her header alone she deserves it. Never mind the hold-up play, the assist for the first, as Elliott is going to stride on to the pitch, the youngster.
Amy Woodruff, she's so consistent week in, week out that she plays. She wears her heart on her sleeve, she works tirelessly for the team. Hold-up play is absolutely brilliant.
It is. And her contribution was brilliant as the full-time whistle goes at the Armco Arena. And Leeds United women have won their first trophy since 2010 on a major domestic scene in women's football. The FA Women's National League plate competition will be in the hands of Leeds United women, who have beaten Stourbridge by 3-1. And what a day this is for the group after years of frustration. A real sign of progress under Rick Passmore for where this women's team can go. As Rebecca Bass celebrates, she was a member of the team that lost the final to Aston Villa on penalties in 2013. On that occasion, it was the Premier League League Cup. And jubilant scenes, arms in the air, smiles galore. We mentioned how proud you are of this group and how much it would mean. I believe the words of Rebecca Bass would be unbelievable. It's now time to realise the dream.
Yeah, I think obviously she'll be at the front of all the celebrations. I know she's obviously just congratulating Stourbridge on making it to the final. So, and now she's with her teammates, jumping around. I'm not sure if she should be jumping around on that knee, but I'm sure her teammates will hold her up there.
Yeah, the players celebrate. Rebecca Bass hobbles with the brace on for her knee, and the players will go across to the fan base that have made the journey across in their numbers. Coaches made the journey to the Midlands today at Solihull, and it is time for them to soak in those emotions and celebrations, because this is what they would hope a bit of a landmark day in Leeds United women's history and their future as well. And it isn't often you get to celebrate. One thing we didn't touch upon, I didn't, Sturton said the game wouldn't be too negative. County Cup final last year, lost on penalties, disappointment, and Rebecca Bass said in the build-up, Rick Passmore said in the build-up, they have to use it as motivation, and they did that today, and this is the result. And you can see the togetherness in the group. Rick Passmore and his coaching team are letting them have their moment.
Yeah, I think it's obviously brilliant just to sit back and watch, and straight away straight to the fans. Obviously it's all for them. It's just, it means so much to have more and more fans travelling away to such events just to celebrate with us, and obviously just see us out through the season. good times and bad, and obviously this one's definitely up there at the top of one of the best.
Yeah, and 13 years without a domestic major trophy in their hands, and Rick Passmore, of course, has had such joy in previous spells with Leeds United women. He gets his moment again, and the group just going through what is pretty much a hugging competition, celebrating together, going through the motions as you get the replays of the chances and the goals this afternoon. And it was a game that started Leeds on the front foot. The goalkeeper, Amy Preston, was such a pain in Leeds' side to stop them on occasions, and it was a really strong start. But then, as we expected, Stourbridge came into the game, and I think, did this lay the foundation though, Jodie, for you, the start that Leeds United had, as we see the replay here of the first goal? And there is Ellis, but that 10-minute start was pretty much everything Rick Passmore needed apart from a goal.
Yeah, I think obviously everything that they work for in training and obviously throughout the season, just building up. I think obviously it's just something brilliant to watch, and obviously it's you expect a goal to be repaid by such brilliance from the start, but obviously after the 90 minutes they've got what they deserved.
Yeah, it wasn't plain sailing though, as you could see by the scoreline, because this goal from the number 17, Hannah Fishwick, picked out. Simpson wasn't happy at the lack of closing down, but Leeds didn't let it take them out of their stride. They did pile forward to try and score another couple of goals, but it didn't happen until that second half, and Woodruff leading the line. I think Rachel Hindle played such an important role in the second half, as well as it was this combination down the line, Hindle to Woodruff, and the lapse in concentration from Preston, and the finish for Abby Brown. I think it's pretty apt, Jodie, that the two centre forwards that have shared the goals this year, that have the same amount of goals, don't have one up on each other today, because they both scored. So they're both on 12, which I think just shows the level playing field this year that they've had, that it's been a bit of a team effort and it's been shared around. Yeah,
exactly. Obviously, you've got a couple of players in the team that have got plenty of goals throughout the season, and it just shows what a team performance it is, and how big it is just to have a squad that can put the ball in the back of the net. Obviously, we've got Jess Russo audition late in the season. I know she can put goals away, so it'll be exciting to see what happens with her as well towards the end of the season. Yeah,
there was the real highlight of the day in terms of a finish, in terms of a build-up. It was a little scrappy at first, but then the quality from Ellis Woodruff, exquisite diving header, inch perfect into the corner. Still time for Simpson to have to make a save of her own to keep it at 3-1, but it stayed just at 3-1. And I'm delighted to say all we're sat here without is waiting for a trophy lift, which is the ideal situation. If we'd have said this afternoon, we want to see them get the trophy lofted in the air, I guess we have to break down the trophy presentation. Is it going to be official club captain Rebecca Bass? Is she going to lift it with Olivia Smart? Is it going to be a group? These are the fine details we have to discuss.
I'd like to say it's probably a joint lift of the trophy, shall we say, between the captains, because I think they deserve a hand on it each. I know obviously Rebecca Bass, just everything that she stands for. She's such a fan, shall we say, from the sidelines for this team, and then obviously Olivia Smart leading them out for the second part of the season, and leading them to this trophy.
And I think just the last, obviously it's been great to cover the women's team the last couple of years, and yes, league success is what still awaits us, but you've mentioned it to me. We've had other people on commentary alongside us. We've had Abby Brown, we've had Rebecca Bass, that have all said how much it means to them to do it in front of the fans that come out to watch. Could see it on social media earlier, the players actually getting a buzz that coaches were going past them on the motorway with Leeds flags in the windows, because that was for them. And you know, what sort of message do you think this sends out to the younger generation, the fans that have made the trips the last couple of weeks? I mean, a trophy victory can't do anything surely but inspire you.
Yeah, obviously it means so much for the team and the club, you know, just to put the fans at the forefront of everything that they do, and obviously this is just something else to add to that. obviously just building our fan base as well, home and away. It just shows how far this team's come, how the club's obviously come with the women's side, and it's just brilliant for the next generation, the ones that they obviously get to have pictures and get signatures from the players, and just have that close relationship that's built from such a young age, just seeing their role models. I know there's plenty of these players that have fans with the names on the back of their shirts, and it's just brilliant to see that they get that opportunity to build that relationship from such a young age.
Yeah, and it's timed as well to perfection, isn't it? Of course, with this weekend to focus on Women's Football Week in 23, where, as I said earlier, the fans just encouraged to go and watch a women's domestic game, and we picked a domestic game today to go. Yes, there's levels higher in the league pyramid, but it was really competitive, a little bit hot under the collar at times with players flying in, but real respect. Stourbridge put up their own performance in the cup final as well, and it's a great advert for the women's game at this level. And of course, Leeds will hope to use this as a launch pad for better days, which I hope you're not sat here because you're out there with them, but it is something to try and build on now.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, when you're going to watch a final, it's definitely what you want to see. Today's final had everything, and obviously Leeds came out on top, but I feel like Stourbridge was a great competition to meet Leeds in the final, and hopefully they do very well in their league, and they obviously progress next season. It seems that way, the way their position is, and how well they're doing in the Midlands League as well.
Yeah, so the players are just going through their celebrations, their team talk, as we await for the trophy final here, or the trophy lift, should I say, here on LUTV, and the group respectively very collective. And we had some good times in the last couple of years. Dan O'Hearn's team building certain foundation blocks. Rick Passmore has come in, of course, as an ex-coach of Leeds United Women, returned to the scene to try and deliver this. And this looks like a group that is very, very together. We've had a number of younger players come in to the fold, and I think you can tell by today's performance just how important it has been as we're now going through the medal presentations. And of course we have a statue there in the women's game that is so important as well. And I mean, these are a group that we said it in the game, you're part of it. When you talk about the players, you talk about them with a smile on your face. A lot of them are best friends as they play alongside each other, and that must be so special as well, because you can't always play with your close friends, but you can tell by the way they play the game that there is that real bond.
Yeah, I think obviously there's a few players that have met through football and just carried that friendship through. I know Rebecca Bass and Sarah Danby are one of the long-standing Leeds players that obviously met at such a young age. We talk about obviously the final, Rebecca Bass was in. I know Sarah Danby wasn't far off in that squad as well. So it just shows how football can bring players together and just create those special bonds, special memories, and this will be one that they all remember in years to come.
Yes, so Stourbridge's team coaches get their medals, and I'm sure they will build on this as they get their handshakes from Sue Smith, the ex-player that will give out Leeds United's players their medal. And we are just waiting for them to get in line, and it's a competition that is on the national stage, and Leeds will now revel in those celebrations, led by Rick Passmore, who has led this group perfectly well. There is a hug given out for everybody, and this is a great moment for him as well, as the group collectively get their for medals. Just for individual basis, I'm sure Rick Passmore is proud as anybody out there, Jodie.
Yeah, I think he obviously will be proud of his team and how far they've come. Obviously, just what he's built. I know obviously he was a part of the Leeds United family, especially a few seasons ago, and obviously it just shows just how far the women's side has come full circle to obviously win such an occasions today.
Yeah, Abby Brown celebrates with a big smile to the camera, and she played to the camera today, and I mean that out of big respect as well. She stood up, was counted, as Sue Smith shakes every player's hand individually. The physios, the coaching team get a medal as well. And we have yet to see Rebecca Bass or Olivia Smart. Olivia Smart is last as captain, and she will get the medal round her neck, and the rest of the players in the squad, of course, will get that. And this is the moment that Leeds United women have been savouring, been dreaming of for several, not only months since the competition started, but years since their last success. As Olivia Smart gets hold of the trophy, and here is the skipper Rebecca Bass to limp into shot, as the rest of the team do. There's Jess Russo, other members as well. Leonie Price, I think I saw there. A real squad effort. Rick Passmore wanted every member of the squad to come across to celebrate as the champagne pops. Rebecca Bass lifts the trophy aloft, and Leeds United women get their day under the spotlight. They won the trophy with the pressure on. Their first success for 13 years as club captain, standing captain, smiles beaming. And now the celebrations really can start. And from what I know of Rebecca Bass, celebrations will be going on all afternoon, the bus, and they deserve this.
Yeah, I think obviously it just shows just how far they've come and how hard they've worked all season. Training, obviously, it's just everything that they deserve. You can just tell on the faces, just enjoying every minute of this.
Yeah, Catherine Smith spoke to Leeds in the week, and Rebecca Bass, even when she spoke to me a few weeks ago as part of our commentary team, said just how proud she is to be part of this group, and for her to lose a final and then to win one a decade later, part of the same group, having to go away and then come back and celebrate as the celebrations continue, with players champagne in their hands, drinks, medals galore. It is a real moment for Leeds United's women as a club to celebrate and go forward, and then they can turn their attention back to the league, where they have several games left in hand. And just a final point before we start to wrap this up, as Rick Passmore just congratulates each of his players again. From a perspective going forward, we keep mentioning this platform, this building block. It just shows you how the players can handle an occasion like this, because so many of them saved their best performance of the season to today, which is a sign of a real mature group as well.
Yeah, I think it's just brilliant just to see obviously players and fulfilling the potential on such an occasion. Some players shy away from it, and obviously, like we say, Abby Brown was one that just stepped up to the occasion. She played for absolutely everything she got for the minutes that she played today. It's just such a brilliant occasion.
Yep, so the players lapping up the attention. You can see every single one of them wanting their camera shots, and we will leave them to it. So I hope you enjoyed our coverage here on LUTV. Real pleasure to watch Leeds United women today, of all days, get the job done. And the players, I'm sure, celebrate all throughout the afternoon on what is their moment in the sun. So the group will be left to celebrate, go through their hands with a trophy. But for all of us here on LUTV, if you're just catching up and just tuning in, a 3-1 success. Woodruff with a shot towards goal, Ellis tapping in, Brown and Woodruff to seal the deal in the second half, as Leeds United women get their first major trophy since 2010, lifting the FA Women's National League plate. Jodie, thank you again for giving us your insight as part of this group this afternoon. We'll be back shortly on LUTV for more coverage of league matters. Good afternoon, and enjoy the rest of your day.